Hey, I'm trying to live until I die. Come connect, you know it's a LUID state of mind. Yeah. Talking traveling, if you wanna fly. Fitness and finance, living a better life. Keep it raw, no filter. Living with no limit. Thank you for tuning in. Come on, let's get it.
Rachel House.
Brendon Gray.
Welcome to LUID Studios and LUID State of Mind. What do you think of the joint?
Amazing. What a fit out, hey?
Isn't it good?
You don't do anything by halves.
No, you know me.
You do.
You know
me.
We're
going to talk about that.
Well, that's the reason why you're here today. You're actually doing me a really big favour. Now, I wanted you to come on the podcast because you're a great person. I've known you for 23, 24 years now. You were one of my first points of contact when I landed here, when I got off the boat from NZ, and we've been friends ever since, which is pretty good.
Been a journey.
It has been a journey, and
a fun
I see
one.
you've got a lot of journey notes there
I've been stalking.
that we're going to go over.
Yes.
So as I said, I really appreciate what you're going to do today, and we're going to change it up. We're going to change it. What are we going to do today?
Let's swap seats. I'm going to talk about you.
You want to interview me?
Yep.
Well,
you get to ask the questions usually.
yes, I know. That's what I do.
So let's swap seats and I'll ask the questions.
That's
Let's
fantastic.
talk about LUID.
All right, let's do it. Let's swap. Oh, this is exciting.
Take him a drink.
You're right next to the bar too.
Trip on any cords.
Give me a drink. Oh, wow.
Oh, this seat's... I feel taller.
Oh, this is weird. This is really weird.
Because you can't see the clock.
Well, now I get to. I should be able to relax, shouldn't I? Because there's no. What do I do? Do I put these down?
Don't rock, though. It's not good for the camera.
Yeah, you're not allowed to rock. You're not allowed to do this.
Yep.
Yeah, doesn't sound good, does it, Maddie? Are we looking all right? How's the audio? Have you got my good side?
Just.
Yeah, just.
Where's that?
Wow. LUID
right.
Studio, what a great joint. I love what you've done with the place. Look at that.
It only took me probably 6 months to figure out what LUID stands for.
Oh, right, you didn't know what it...
Well, I mean, initially. It's been around now since when did you start?
We're 2 years in now. 2 years in. So LUID is an acronym, which means live until I die, which when you think about it that way sounds pretty morbid. But, it's about... Well, the reason why I came up with LUID was, A, because there wasn't an acronym. The acronym didn't exist.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know me, I need to be original. You've got to have a point of difference.
Yeah.
And it also lent itself to what I wanted to do with the podcast and going forward. It's about, I'm 50 years old now. I've had a pretty good life. I've led a pretty good life.
Are you 50 or?
52, yeah, I'm 52. So, I've had a pretty good life, and the balance of my life is about getting the most out of it. And we've talked about it before. It's about getting the most out of it while you physically can, because we all know as we get older, ailments and sicknesses and mobility is a big issue for the elderly. So health and fitness, of course, mental fitness, diet, exercise, travel, so that's LUID encompasses everything about living a better life.
Yep.
And that's how I came up with it. So there you go. For those people that have been wondering all that time, LUID does actually mean something.
I think it does. And I think there's a lot of background to how LUID evolved. It's your evolution, it's your journey that brings us to the studio.
Yes, indeed. And as I said, I appreciate what you're doing for me today, for us today, for the brand. We started off this year knowing that LUID, well, let's back it up a bit. Let's back it up to when we started. Now, there's a saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now, for me, I had no right creating a studio and starting a podcast. I had no prior knowledge of the industry. I didn't know what to do or how to do it, but I did it because I'd set my mind on what I wanted to do and put my ducks in a row, put everything in place, got people around me that would help me and assist me and get me to where I wanted to be. And that's how we created LUID. And that was that's how I created LUID.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as I said, it's I had no right doing it. I had no right. But it's been 2 years, and I think I've done my apprenticeship. And after this 2-year period, we've got to a point where nobody said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing it." When nobody's tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, Brendon, maybe you should give something else a go." That hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I think people get imposter syndrome, and I think I was waiting for that tap on the shoulder for somebody to say, "Hey, dude, you're probably best doing something else." But that hasn't happened. So now, after this 2-year period, there's been no promotion. There's been no aggressive marketing of LUID or the podcast. We've just organically let it do its own thing. And now it's about putting our foot on the accelerator and letting more people know about LUID State of Mind and how it can help them, and get more guests.
You've always been a man of big ideas, and I can say for myself, I thought, what the heck is he doing? But everything you've ever put your heart and soul into, you've made a success. And that goes back to, you've got a long history in sign writing, your T-shirts, your burgers. Where else have you been?
Burgers.
They're the best.
Burgers.
Did you that turkey,
Yeah.
cranberry, and you had to find the best rolls in Melbourne.
Yes.
That was a mission.
Well, once again, and I tell my son this all the time, if you're going to do something, do it right.
Yeah.
Don't do it half-assed. I mean, the thing is that I've been in a trade all my life. I've serviced people. If I'm not doing my job correctly, it's just going to come back and bite me in the ass because I'm going to have to go back and redo it, or I'm going to lose a customer that's not going to come back because I've done shitty workmanship.
Yeah.
It's a basic life lesson.
Yeah. And when it's your own business, you have no choice. So it's a pathway to success that you've always marched with determination. Hey.
Yes. Yeah.
But it has been a journey.
It has.
And I think that we've known each other since, what do we say, 23, 24 years. I think probably in the last 10 years has been a particular evolution for you.
Yeah.
Do you think evolution? Is that the right word?
Well, I think it's,
Coming of age.
No, evolution. So I've evolved as a human.
Yep.
Which
It's good you're not dragging your knuckles anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, which I would hope that everybody does. I mean, life has so much to offer, and I know there's shitty periods in people's lives where whatever it may be, whether you lose a loved one or your marriage breaks down or you're just having a rough time, you can't find work, your car fucking breaks down. These things are sent to test you. That's life. So if you're not evolving as a human as you're getting on in life, I think there's something fundamentally wrong with that. I couldn't think of myself. Like I say, the one thing I've always said is the best thing I ever did was leave New Zealand. The best thing I ever did. I left there.
A lot of people here say that.
Yeah. It was 2003.
Yeah.
And the catalyst was my marriage broke down, but it was my dog dying.
Right.
My dog died, and that was the only thing keeping me in Hastings in Hawke's Bay, back in NZ, which is where I come from. And once my dog died, Pagan, it was a German Shepherd, she was gorgeous, 11 years old. We were walking to work one day, and she just collapsed and was dead the next day. It was pancreatic cancer or something. So it was very quick. And the decision for me to leave was just as quick.
Yep.
And as I said, the best thing, I think if I stayed in NZ, I would be an angry little man. I would have not have had the travel opportunities that I've had, and I think I probably would have got myself into a downward spiral of just accepting
Unhappiness.
accepting the norm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which which is fine for a lot of people. I'm not, you can have your house, your 2.5 kids, your dog, and
white picket fence.
Exactly, your white picket fence. If that's what you want, that's fine. That was never my destiny, never. So as I said, I love New Zealand. I love it as a country. I've still got a New Zealand passport. I haven't converted to an Australian passport yet, so it's still home. And I've always got family there, so it will always be home, but it's just not where I live.
Yep, understand. So I've got a list of things that I, words to describe you, or thoughts that I had of you coming in today. And
you've done a shit ton of research.
So there we go. We're going to tick off constant self-improvement.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's for everybody listening.
And I had big surly man. I did surly, not angry.
Surly.
No,
I was angry.
Yeah.
I was angry.
Now you're surly.
Now, surly's
improved.
Surly's a grown-up word. Yeah. No, yeah. I honestly, I wasn't an angry man. As a young boy, as a young man, I was angry. I don't know why. I don't know why. I still haven't figured it out today. I'm not the same person that I was.
No.
But I can't pinpoint, or I can't understand why I was so angry. Like I was married at 23. I had a house. I had a business.
Great family.
Great family, of course.
Yep.
Had a dog. I didn't have the white picket fence, but at 23, I was living the fucking dream. Yep. I had everything. What else could you possibly need?
Except a fulfillment. There's something that was missing.
Well, you'd want to think that at 23, I had more than what other people had at 23. Their focus was probably, pointed in a different direction. Maybe I got too much too soon, because my mum always said to me, "Don't grow up before you get old," or "Don't grow up before, don't grow up before you get old."
Yeah.
Which was true. Yep. I left school at 15, and all I wanted to do was grow up and be an adult, and that's exactly what I did.
Well, funny, we both got teenagers that are pretty much at that stage now, and I just think they've got their whole lives to work.
Yes.
They need to go out and travel or experience or live a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Before getting shackled to a job or a mortgage or a routine or something that's just going to...
Husband or a wife.
Yes. Yeah, don't do that, man. Not a... Wow. And then there's babies and so. We're not even going to go down that route.
No, because we've almost survived that.
Not for teenagers I'm talking about.
No. God, no.
No, exactly.
No. Yeah. We've almost made it through our parenting.
We're on the other. We're getting
years.
on the other end. We're getting on the other end. Exactly.
So when we talk about 2014, so from our relationship, we had a time when we were housemates.
Yes. I thank you for that. You were my saviour.
There was no thanks needed, but I think it was a realization for you. Like, you think that leaving New Zealand, that's what maybe turned your life. I think in 2014 you had a realization around your own mental health and well-being.
Yeah. I call it it was a catalyst.
Yep.
And I've said to a lot of guests, or asked a lot of guests on this podcast, what was the catalyst? What made you lose weight, or what made you do that? Because in everybody's life, there's a catalyst. There's a point where you are either made to understand something that's happening that you don't realise is happening, or you've got a self-awareness that something is happening that needs to be rectified.
I can tick off another word off my list, self-aware.
Self-aware.
Had that on.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So I've had mental health issues since I was about 20. So I remember going to my GP. I'd just started business. It was 2021. I've been in business. It was early days. Stress. Everything seemed to be compounding, and my doctor said, "Oh, well, you're depressed." In a 10-minute consultation, you're depressed. It was that easy.
It's 10 minutes longer than bulk billing appointments these days.
I know, exactly. and put me on some medication which I didn't like. And I knew what it was doing. I knew how it was changing me, and I didn't like how it was changing me. And didn't bother with it, and then just self-medicated for the rest of the decade, my 30s. So he said it was depression, which is very easy. If somebody comes in to a doctor's office and they say, oh, things are a bit shit and I'm feeling sad, I don't think I use the word sad. I don't think I've ever used the word sad. I've never said I am sad. I know where I'm emotionally foggy, or I can feel these fluctuations. And what I used to get is these peaks and troughs.
Yep.
So high highs, low lows, which now they classify as being bipolar, which is the category or the box that they've put me in.
Yep.
Once again, no official diagnosis, and as I've said previously, it's about the medication that works for a patient, and that's the hardest thing about mental health is that the person understanding what's going on with themselves, and then B, getting the help to rectify that problem, and C, getting a good GP or a good team around you to work out what's best for you.
Yep.
So medication's just part of that, and as we've discussed before, diet, exercise, environment, all this stuff equates at the end to a total amount of, I say equilibrium, like a balanced keel. So you don't get these highs, you don't get these lows. So yeah, that's over the last decade, 15, 20 years, I've understood cause and effect. I know when I'm high, I know when I'm down, and it's just a constant maintaining of a level platform, let's just not rock the boat.
You said before you don't know what made you angry. Is there anything that you think or that that attributed to your mental health? Like we said, great family, great upbringing.
Yeah,
it could be. It might be a traumatic experience. It might be.
In a lot of cases, it could be one of many of those things. I had a discussion with my family, my mum and dad, about it, and I suffered from migraines as a kid, like really severe migraines. And if you never had a migraine, you just can't understand it. It's like a dude get kicked in the balls. Chicks just can't relate to it. It's
like
don't
people
know.
who have a cold and say they've got the flu. Like, no, you don't have a headache until a migraine is
exactly.
next level.
Yeah. So suffered from those, and then we figured out that I'd had 5 concussions by the time I was 12 years old.
Is that playing rugby or?
Well, no, just life. And
just being a boy.
Well, I mean, one of the ones that we discussed, Mum came home one day from work, and I was lying between the shed and the house, unconscious on the concrete ground. Now, our house had a lean-to off the side, which was at the same level as the shed. So we used to get up the Feijoa tree, onto the shed, and then onto the lean-to, and there was grapevines up there. So we used to sit up there and eat grapes all day, until you shit your pants, and
hence your love of wine.
Exactly. And I'd misstepped, and I was 7 or 8, misstepped, fallen down, cracked my head on the thing, and one of the other concussions was actually a friend of mine at school who kneed me in the head. We were roughhousing, and he just kneed me in the head and KO'd me. So that was 2 of them. But yeah, it was 5. So I mean, there's no written paper that says this should equal this in the medical world. And as far as mental illness is concerned, you've got a lot of contributing factors that add up to the sum of. I'm not blaming. I don't blame anything.
It's interesting. I mean, that's a whole other session in itself where you talk about concussion and where AFL, rugby, all sports across the world are as far as that goes, and it's probably topical given this week 2 AFL players took their own lives.
Yeah, CTE and all that stuff. I mean, that's why I say to my son Mav, I mean, that's why he's always played rugby in his headgear, because it's like, you got to look after your noggin, mate. And the thing is also too, I have a fear that some of this could be inherent.
Yep.
Or he could, because of me, have issues himself down the track. So I'm aware of that as well too. You know, I know teenagers have got it pretty fucking tough right now. I mean, we had it tough as kids, but I mean, teenage kids these days are, you know,
Even it's
they seem that
definitely- there's society presents a lot of challenges for them.
Do you think they've got it easier than us? Than we?
No.
No, they haven't got
No.
it easier.
No. I think with social media, and I think it's a far different time and space. I know, God, we sound old. We sound like our parents. But it's like, I don't think they have it easier. I think our kids have it pretty good, as in Mav and my kids, but I don't think it's easy. I think it's better that there's an awareness of mental health, and there's a lot more openness as far as gender, identity, and those kinds of things.
Yep.
But those also bring challenges with that.
Oh, so the one thing that I'm really happy with is the awareness about the mental health, realm. It's, I mean, I don't doubt that my dad or my granddad or anybody of that generation had mental illness as well too. They just pulled their pants up and got on with it, you know, and that's what you did in that era. Is like you didn't bitch or moan, you didn't carry on like a goose. You just got on with the job.
And particularly for men.
Oh, for sure, exactly.
Right. So another one of the things that I had on my list of things to ask you is, what helped you open up, whether it be about your mental health, your feelings, that self-awareness? What
Good question.
did somebody finally ask you? I mean, it's not very common. Go back 20 years, you wouldn't ask, "How are you, mate?"
Well, I still have, as far as I recall, I still not have somebody ask me straight to my face about my mental health. My mental health and the awareness for anybody has come through snippets from me. And there was, and like in 2014 with the catalyst, there was a not an opening of the floodgates. It was more of a, hey, just so you know, this is what I'm dealing with, you know. And it's about, I thought personally it was a common courtesy, because if somebody's in a bad mood and you're around them, you'd want to know why they're in a bad mood, you know, or you'd want to. You want to not make them in a bad mood. You want to make them happy, bit of a joke or something like that. So, yeah, it's happened over the last decade where, and like LUID's probably the floodgate of it, and it's only because I've got the avenue now and the platform to help educate.
Yep.
I'm a shitty fucking teacher. I'll admit that. I'm a bad. That's not what I do. I'm a doer. I'm not a. You know what they say about teachers?
What do they say?
Well, if you can't do, you teach. That's a term in it, maybe.
What do we?
Exactly.
Do I tick off you're not a team player off my list?
That's exactly. We'll get back into that.
We'll
a little
come
bit later.
back to that.
We'll get back into that. What was I saying?
Not a good teacher, but this is your platform. This is
exactly. So yeah, as far as the awareness of mental health,
Yep.
you know, the one thing I didn't do was
Yes. Don't. No crying. You told me that was a rule.
one thing I didn't do was talk to my mum.
Oh.
She knew, but she was afraid to ask.
Do you think Do you think she was afraid? Or, I don't know, B. I think, don't make me cry. You have and had, in your mum's case, a terrific relationship with your parents. I thought, very open and honest.
Yeah,
From
it
my
was.
perspective.
Yep.
So, but I think, it's very different now. You can talk about things and cope with things differently.
I just, I knew she knew, but
Do you think she didn't?
well, I think the one thing about my mum's generation was that once again they just got on with it. They just got on with it.
Yep.
You know, they didn't make excuses, and as I said, we just never sat down. I think from my point of view too is that I'm not going to instigate a conversation about. I'm not going to make me the topic of conversation. I'm not going to go, hey guys,
Yep.
this is what's going on. This is what's happening. You know, I've never done that, and I've never wanted to do that. Which is once again why we go back to the point that nobody's ever said. So talk to me about your mental illness, which I would love to talk about. You know, if somebody came up to me in the street and said, "Hey man, what's up with your mental illness? Can you talk to me?" That I would quite happy. And if it was a dinner party or it was out in the pub or something, you know, if you want to chat about it,
Not general dinner conversation.
No, exactly. But so as I said, I never had that conversation with my mum. She knew, but we never discussed it.
What about with your dad?
He's a little bit more. He's seen my journey probably more so than mum. I remember he sat with me after I got let out of jail one Christmas day. I got locked up on Christmas Eve for being drunk and disorderly.
That was in New Zealand, wasn't it?
That was in New Zealand, yeah. Yeah, I've got a clean record over here, just in case immigration's listening. I was angry. I was drunk. I don't know if I got in a fight or whatever. And the funny thing about it is that I had 3 or 4 mates that were police officers, and they still laugh at my mugshot today. They can.
I wish
pull it
we
up
had
and-
that.
Yeah. They wouldn't let me get a copy of it, but so I remember Dad sat with me, and he said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Fuck, I don't know, Dad. I just don't know." And that was I'd been married. I was married, so yeah. But as I said, Dad had a little bit more of an understanding, and probably from a male point of view, a male perspective. But yeah, I think it's just something that I've just managed to deal with. Like, you know, if you've got a bad hip or something, and you just manage it until it can't be managed anymore, and then there's a catalyst, and you've got to get a hip replacement.
You did that in 2014.
I did that too.
too.
Yeah, 2000.
It was a big year.
It was shit, and and the one thing I said about my hip replacement was that they told me you've got to get the most out of your own bones before you get it. I was in so much pain.
Yeah,
I was in so much pain for a long time, and it was 2 years before. I think 2 years before it finally got done, and I had to go through private. They wouldn't do it in the public system. So that was why I waited.
Unless you wanted to wait and wait.
Well, that's the thing is, I was in the public system, and it wasn't deemed to be severe enough for a replacement, even though I was in severe pain and had a limp. So I ended up having to get insurance for it, and then waiting that year for the insurance to kick in.
Yeah.
And then finally got it done. Yeah, that was a big year.
It was a big year. You also did Kokoda.
I did that prior to getting my hip done.
Oh, did you do that
Yeah.
before? God.
Yeah, once again, get the most out of your own bones. Yeah.
That last little bit.
I limped the whole way through that. I was actually on. I joked because I said I was on performance enhancing drugs. I was just on Voltaren the whole time, jacked up on Voltaren. But I did it, and I carried my own pack too, which I was really proud about. Yeah. So hey, you're next to the bar. Is there a beer down there?
Maybe.
There's a bottle opener right behind you.
Jeez. Putting me to work. I guess that's what it's like being the host. All right. Hold on. Bear with me.
Is it kiddie proof?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no. We've got to back up.
There you go.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Oh, shit. It's a boy.
Getting excited.
Well, and that's Asahi, so Japan. That was Mount Fuji 2015
Yes.
with a new hip.
Yeah, I did have. Yeah. I raced up there quick.
Are you going to have
river.
to get another one?
So the one that they've replaced, they reckon they've got 20 years. So I was
So
40.
if you live until I die,
Yeah.
then in theory,
Well,
you might.
the problem is not the next one, but the following one.
Yep.
So, you do the math? I think, yeah,
Old and older.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the bone just can't take it. But the issue is with the other hip. So the other hip's going as well too.
Yep.
But it's not as severe as what the one that was replaced. So it's about management.
And you haven't done your knee, but you broke your leg.
No, I did my knee in
you did do
Italy. Snowboarding.
That was only like last year, the year before.
Yeah, that was so. Me and Mav were in Italy about a year ago in February, and he decided to take my knee out just for something to do, and bent it inside out.
Because that's what 15-year-old
Yeah,
boys.
yeah. It's like, Mav, there's plenty of snow over there, but he had to come find my snow and went straight into the side of my knee. So,
And you broke your leg just before your wedding, didn't you?
yes, yeah, I got a steel rod in my leg.
It'd be fun to travel with.
Well, actually, we laugh every time I go through the metal detector. It's like, is it going to pick it up this time or not?
It's meant to. So when it doesn't, I kind of think, what else isn't it picking up?
Yeah, exactly. My point exactly. Yeah, I just went.
Please pick up my leg.
And
pick
when
up my head.
when it does pick me up, they sort of look at the thing and they go, all right, and there's all these points on my body.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, right in there, hip there, and yeah. But as I said, they nine times out of 10, it doesn't pick it up.
You're the bionic man.
And we're talking about international fights, and as you say, you want to.
I want you to pick up that.
Yeah, I want you to pick them. They're more worried about bomb water. They're more worried about your water.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that shits me about it. You go to some places like Doha or Dubai.
Yeah.
So you can buy water once you get through security.
Yeah, that's what happens here.
Yeah, but then you can't take that water on the plane. There's another security stop. So you're going onto a plane with no water, no hydration.
Are you serious?
It
So
sucks.
then you just have to drink alcohol.
Well, that's got water in it. Beer's got water in it.
If you get a cocktail with ice, right?
Yeah, exactly. Asahi beer. We're still waiting for some sponsorship.
We'll get on to them.
We've got so many clips. We've sent them some clips
Have you?
from the podcast. Yeah, all we want is free product. That's not.
Not asking for much.
We don't want a salary.
Like a couple slabs a week.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, easy. Keep our guests happy.
We're going to talk a little bit about your business past, and we talked a little bit about how we got to LUID. Your creativity, maybe that comes with your mental health, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
Right, like all the crazy people go
Yep.
out, look at
Yep.
big ideas. And
I wouldn't change that for the world. If
Yeah.
you said to me,
have you ever worked for somebody else? I'm trying to think. Maybe briefly.
yeah, I worked. So back the truck right up.
Yeah.
So I left school at 15, and school just wasn't for me. My brain ticked in a different way to my older brothers who went on to university. So there was actually a day where I'd been skipping school and went back to school and got caught up with and was told to go to the principal's office. And I ended up swearing at the principal and telling him to get fucked. And
This does not surprise me.
no, not for you. No, it won't. It might shock some of our listeners. Actually, going to pause for a minute because I've got to
Adjust.
No, tissue. Yeah, I'm sitting on my balls. Did you want me to bring those tissues closer, just in case you need?
Nah,
it's
I'm
only
good
30
now.
minutes. You welled up,
Yeah,
You-
because I cry
I know.
at ads.
man.
I cry
I hate
at TV
it.
commercials.
I've made a few people cry on the other side, and it's like, as soon as I see them, I go, "Ugh." And then they look at me and they see me well up, and it goes, just gets worse. All right, back to Hastings Boys High School.
Hastings.
Hastings Boys High School. Shout out to anybody that has been there or knew
Beautiful
me.
part of the world.
Is it? Hawke's Bay? Great.
Lovely.
Great spot. So I was 15. I was jacked with school. Just turned 15. Told the principal to fuck off. Walked off the place. Mum and Dad got hauled in there. You know, your son can't do that. And it's like, of course we know you can't do that. It's not. They didn't create the attitude that I had back then. That was not their doing. That was wholly and solely mine. I wanted to grow up. My mum and dad said to me, you can leave school, which you could legally do at 15. Is that the
Yep.
same over here?
Yeah, but I think these
It's
days
on the border.
there's so many other pathways now, you
Yeah.
know, with doing VCAL and whatever, you know, but I mean, my husband left school when he was 15 too. And
Yeah. Yep.
it was very much the norm, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, back then, if school wasn't for you, the best thing to do was to get out in the workforce, and there was
Yeah.
plenty of jobs. I wanted to be a motorcycle mechanic, and I wanted to race motorbikes. And I got a job at a gas station, which I've been working part-time at. So I worked there full-time during the day. Oh, sorry,
So that's the one time you've worked for somebody else.
wait a minute. No, it's two times.
Okay.
So I was working there, night shift, working till 2 o'clock in the morning, going home, having a couple of hours sleep, and then I got the motorbike shop down the road. They didn't have any jobs, and I just said, look, can I come and help you out and work for nothing on the pretext that maybe something will open up? And they said, yeah, sure, free labour, why wouldn't you? So I got to get in with them, started racing motorbikes, and they finally gave me a job in the parts department. I wanted to be a mechanic, but hey, that's close. I still had access to the workshop.
Yep.
And so that was my second job from the gas station, and I started racing bikes, and that's obviously where you see the helmets and stuff around in here. So yeah, that was I wanted to race bikes. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I fucking did.
Do you still have any of your cafe racer bikes?
I've got 14 motorcycles.
Okay, that's a yes. It's a firm yes.
Yes.
Do you ride them?
I'd love to ride them more. I've been very bad lately. I haven't.
Ash has her motorbike license.
Yes, she
Yeah,
does.
that's
My lovely wife. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I need to make more time for stuff like that. But it's the same with anything in life, you know. It's about time, and it's about managing it.
Get
So,
the toys out of the shed.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, so you touched on it. Oh, hold on, well, you'll delete that out.
Yep. Reset.
Yeah, reset. I was going to go back to like your entrepreneur, your creativity, and how that like led into LUID, but that's not really going to work.
Well, that leads on to the rest of the story. So we were talking. What led us to the school thing? You're talking about mental health, and being creative. Or what was
Yeah,
the
your
question?
creativity, and if you'd ever worked for anybody else.
Oh, that's right. So working. So yeah. So that was my second paid job, and then after that, oh no, I was a DJ too. I worked at the clubs.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not know that?
No, but I believe that you're revisiting your youth.
I am.
Did I not see something last weekend?
Yeah,
Chapel
I did
Street Cellars.
I did a gig at Chapel. Oh, shout out to Chapel Street Cellars because they're actually our sponsors. They sponsor the Buckfast, which we're going to try later on.
Can't wait.
So Joe and brain fart. See, that happens. Rob.
Joe and Rob. Chapel Street Cellars.
Yeah, so Joe and Rob from Chapel Street Cellars, as I said, they sponsor us with Buckfast for the podcast, which is great. Yeah, I did a gig there last Saturday, which
Yeah.
was pretty cool. It was cool. Reliving my youth. Yes, I agree, but also for me personally, that's a selfish thing, and we'll talk about being selfish again
Oh, I
throughout
think
the
I'll probably have that on my list
throughout
here
the
too to tick
conversation.
off for you.
So I have no qualms about being selfish or labelled selfish, and for various reasons. But that's for me personally. That's a selfish thing. That's a looking after my mental health. I got to play my music for 5 hours, and that's tick one. Tick two is seeing people react to what I'm doing and react positively to them. That's tick two. So what more could you want?
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me that's about being content or creating a situation where you're content in life because you've instigated something to get to that point. And when we talk about being selfish, I've talked about it previously, where I will put myself first so that I can be the best possible version of myself, to be a dad, a husband, a carer, whatever.
Yep.
Whatever. And that's my mentality. And if people label it selfish, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Look at the most successful business people or otherwise around the world. They've all got an air of selfishness, ego.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to.
I try to keep
But
ego
you got
out
to be
of
a
it.
bit of a prick
Oh,
sometimes.
look, exactly. If you want to be a millionaire, you've got to be an arsehole to get there. You've got to
Yeah.
step on toes. You've got to upset some people. Throughout my career, I understand about money, and I've explained this before. I understand the importance of money, but money has never driven what I do. And especially with like LUID now, and we've stated, it's not about the money. It's got nothing to. We're not making money here. Matt,
No,
are you making any money? I'm not making any money.
Bit of product from Chapel Street Sellers, that'll do.
Exactly. So it's not about the money, and it's about
It's about getting the message out, just like you were saying about.
facilitate and educate. More so
Yeah.
the facilitation. It's like we want people sitting here in this seat that are going to bestow knowledge, tell stories, and make good content that people are going to like to consume, and maybe they've just got to take one thing. If in an hour and a half they take 1 point away, my job's done. That's all I want to do. And that, once again, that makes me happy. And all I've done in throughout my life ultimately is just to maintain happiness, or to get to a point where you are happy, because otherwise what's the fucking point?
All right, so you say you were so angry when you were younger. I could ask you what you would say to your teenage self, but we know that teenage boys aren't great listeners, so the advice will probably not be well heeled. What would you say to your 30-year-old self?
Stop, slow down, and take a moment to assess everything. The one thing I have earned is a lot of self-awareness. Whether it's physically, mentally, I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that. That was not taught to me. That was all self-taught. I didn't learn that from anybody. It was self-taught. But yeah, 30 years. I think I was chasing my tail a little bit, wanting to do better, wanting to be better. We talked about perfection earlier, and I said to you, there's no such thing as perfection. And a lot of people will disagree with that, and that's fine. That's their opinion. I don't think there is, and I tried throughout my my business life. I tried to get perfection, and I think the frustration of trying to get to that point was maybe where my shortness or my anger or my frustration was born from that seeking the perfection.
Yep.
And now, well, not now, a decade ago, there was the realization that, among other things, was that there's no such thing as perfection. I can't get it, and there's no point chasing it. There's no point. Like, there's a term in trades like professional roughness. Have you heard that? Do you know what that term is?
Tell me, yeah.
Yeah, so professional
Probably
roughness.
me.
Yeah, professional roughness. When I was brought up in my trade in signwriting. Signwriting is all about perfect lines.
It is perfection.
Exactly. So
No bubbles.
No, well, back in those days we were all hand signwriting stuff. So it was
Yeah.
perfect lines, perfect curves, perfect circles. Everything needed to be perfect because that's what we perceive people want.
Yep.
But as you stand back from something, like a metre away, you don't see the imperfections.
Yep.
So professional roughness is about doing something quickly and efficiently, but not perfectly. But it's perceived to be perfect.
Yep.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But my mentality, because I was a business owner from 21, 22, I'm always trying to chase perfection. I'm always trying to be the perfect boss, the perfect partner, the perfect, just trying to get to that
Friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I was probably a shitty friend to a lot of people, and that's another story for another time. Because
think?
I think I was just too, not self-involved. I was too focused. I was too, it's they call it tunnel vision. I don't think mine would you quite describe it as tunnel vision, but definitely a goal that needed to be met. That was here. It wasn't here. It needed to be met, and one of the main principles of what I learned was that to get from A to B, you've got to do these steps in the process to get to point A to point B, and you've got to do those processes. Everything's got to be done in a process in a certain way to get to the finished product.
I've seen you do that in your personal life, in your business life. You always have a plan. You know, a lot of small businesses are you're meant to have a business plan, aren't you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's business 101.
You don't just have a business plan, you execute. And I was going to say to perfection, but you don't like that word. So,
Well, no,
and your personal life as well. You've always got.
Yeah. Well, I would say that would be probably one of the failings in my personal life with regards to relationships or marriages, is that I'm not. It's hard to focus on three or four me personally.
Yep.
It's hard to focus on 3 or 4 moving parts. Now I can multitask. I can do that quite happily, but if I want a task to be realised and then achieved, I have to go right.
You have to focus.
I start here. Here's where I'm going to finish. I need to go bang, 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 and get all my ducks in a row. Like with the studio, it's like, what do we need? All right, we need space. We need equipment. Audio is the most important thing, so we get the audio sorted out. Well, how does audio work and how does the sound bounce off the walls? You got to get baffles, and you've got to So you do the calculations, and you put everything in place, and the result is a perfect, a not so perfect, but perfect enough product.
Yep.
That people will hopefully consume. And I've said, like, the one thing that I learnt or I know from a podcast is if it sounds like it's been recorded in a fucking toilet, why am I going to listen to it?
Yeah.
Podcasts are predominantly audio, although most of them now are going to audio and video. It's got to sound right. It's got to sound right.
But you're you didn't know anything about sound equipment or acoustics or anything like that. That's what I mean. Your focus and your determination and your drive.
That's the beauty about the age that we live in today. Information is available to you at a finger stroke.
And it's getting even more and
It's
more
all,
and more.
It's all here.
Yeah.
Anything you want to know. There shouldn't be an argument about something when you can fact check it as simply as Googling.
Taking all the fun out of dinner party arguments.
Well, were they that fun though? I mean, wives going home with their husbands not talking in the car because the husband didn't support them, or they didn't support them through her argument.
Yeah.
But like these days, it's so much easier to be able to, get an idea. So LUID was an idea.
Yep.
It was like, all right, so what are the next steps in it? Okay.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 job done.
Now you could just put it in AI and it would tell you.
Tell me to do LUID.
It would just tell you step by step what you need to do to set it up.
Well,
Takes the fun out of it though.
Well, yeah, exactly. It would probably do it differently to me, so there wouldn't be a point.
It would not be good enough.
Yeah.
No.
There's, I don't work well in a team.
Yeah. We talked about that. Not a team player.
Is that a bad thing, though?
No, not at all. You got to look after number one. No one else is gonna.
Well,
I did speak to people about you in preparation for today.
All right.
And there was someone said one-man show. One-man show.
Who said that?
I can't tell you.
Who'd you talk to? Come on.
Guess. No, don't guess. Don't guess. I can't. I'm not going to give up my sources.
Okay.
But-
what else did they say about me?
What you see is what you get. Extremely genuine.
Ooh, that's good. I like that one.
Loyal,
Yep.
generous. So it's funny you say you're selfish. I don't think being a one-man show or not a team player means that you're selfish.
Oh no, we can still
Yeah.
use the two words in tandem. That's fine. I can be selfish and generous at the same time.
Yep.
Once again, we know why I'm selfish.
Yep.
Right? I love being generous.
Yep.
I love it, and that harks back to money. Money doesn't have the same importance to me as it does for other people.
Yep.
I used to say it right from the early stages. You've either got it or you haven't. It's as
Yep.
simple as that. And if you don't have it, well, you try to get more of it. Well, you try to get it to be able to do what you need to do. But it doesn't drive everything. It doesn't. I don't get up in the morning and go, right, how much cash am I going to make today? What's my profit margins? Spreadsheets, blah. But it doesn't matter.
I reckon you work to travel.
I do, but mostly I work to live, and that was what I was taught early on in the piece. Everybody says, get a job that you love, but that's not realistic. It's not realistic for everybody. I mean, let's be serious.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Like when you were little, what did you want to be?
Probably a fireman. I don't know.
I wanted to be a bus driver.
A bus driver.
Yeah, like the big American school buses.
Not
like,
the short bus.
probably could get a seat on it, but like they had the big flat steering wheel.
Yes.
Yes.
They had and their little knob on it. They would just did they have
the door.
No, on the steering wheel. Yeah, they had
No.
the steering wheels with a knob that helped them go like that and turn it, and they didn't have to go.
No, they
didn't have to go.
they feel like
Oh, they
flat
were like
handed
this.
it around. Yeah. Open the door on the school bus driver.
So how'd that work out for you?
Well, I mean, I work in the waste industry. It's probably not that far off. There's trucks. But yeah, didn't become a bus driver. What do you think? You're a firefighter?
Oh, it could have been me. Maybe early days I was going to be a cowboy. I don't know. I told her, it's funny because I told a story at my mum's funeral last year about mum taught me two valuable things in life, and she taught me how to sew. And the one reason why I wanted to learn how to sew was so I could make outfits for my little action man. So I don't know if you know what an action man is. It's similar to like a G.I. Joe.
I'm just wanting to see the outfits. Was
So-
it
Oh, we're talking like
village people?
we're talking about black, those black net singlets that Right Said Fred said.
Yep.
Right Said Fred was wearing. So I was making those and leather pants and stuff for my little action man. And I said the other thing was she taught me how to cook, which I thought I said that to the younger people in the audience, that if you know how to make a roast pork dinner with pavlova for dessert, and you've got a special friend over, make sure that you've got bacon and eggs in the fridge because you're going to make breakfast in the morning. Breakfast in the morning.
Do you cook a lot now?
No, I don't.
Nah, that's
No.
where you live. You've got everything on your doorstep.
Well, yeah, exactly. I love cooking, and I love barbecuing. And shout out to Brendon
Brendon, yeah.
my brother-in-law, who's a barbecue champ.
Yeah.
We've had him on the podcast. So
I've been to the meat.
What
was the
meat stock?
Yeah, meat stock. Yeah.
He taught me everything I know.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to our latest episode of LUID State of Mind. Don't forget to head to our website, luidstateofmind.com, for all our previous podcast episodes and, of course, our famous merch. We've just released a new range of merchandise, and there's something for everyone. So head to luidstateofmind.com and buy something today. Hey.
Hi.
Everybody's had a pee.
Yep.
We're all good. Hey, yeah, so we talked about Buckfast early on.
I'm hanging for it.
Rob and Joe from Chapel Street Cellars. You've never had it before.
I haven't.
Do you know what it is?
No, but I'm very keen to find out.
It is actually grape juice with alcohol and caffeine, amongst a few other. So that's the bottle for our listeners and viewers. Buckfast. You can get it from Chapel Street Cellars.
Ticks like almost all of my boxes. Caffeine, alcohol.
Cheers to Buckfast
Cheers.
and Chapel Street Cellars.
Amazing. How did you come onto this? Through Rob and Joe?
Yeah, they're the importer of it. It's made in the UK. Yeah,
Yeah.
you likey?
Yeah, it's like
It's not offensive, is it?
No, it's like almost like a Tokay or like a
You're talking like a fortified, mate?
yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Yeah. Well, see,
It's a bit fortified, but over the ice.
the difference with that is it's not a fortified wine. It's actually the juice
Yeah.
with the alcohol added to it, and then the other additives like the caffeine and that. So, but yeah, it's great. I love it. I like
That's
it a lot.
delicious.
It is, isn't it? It's
It's not
Moorish.
it's not like 3 standard drinks in the bottle, is it? I don't want
It's
to waste my
15
calories.
It's 15% alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got a bit of it's what some of the wines are about that, aren't they? Yeah, it's a tonic. That's why they call it a tonic wine.
It's a bit like light beer. I mean, it'll make you pee. It just doesn't do anything for me. So I'm making sure it's not a light wine.
It's made by the Benedictine monks, Buckfast Abbey in Devon in England. And Rob tells a story. He was actually on the podcast how they were driven out of France. And the monks were driven out of France and ended up in the UK. You're right. And that's how they came up with that. So a lot of expats in that drink it. They love it. It's great.
That's yum.
Hey,
Look, I'm double parked here.
Double parked. That's how we like it around
I
here.
love it.
Hey, once again, thank you very much. You're doing a really good job. I mean, it's really odd for me to be on the other side, but I'm actually quite comfortable over here. I think
Talking about yourself.
I haven't talked this much in a long fucking time, to be quite honest. Hey, we've got a segment. This we're going to bring it in this year, 2025. It's the year of Live Until I Die, and we've got a segment called Dead or Alive. Now, you're wondering what it's all about?
Yep, I'm waiting.
All right, Maddie, you want to key up our first video? Let's have a look at this. All right, can we full screen that?
That in itself makes me a bit nervous.
Yes. We'll wait and see. Here we go. When you're ready. Oh, I think she knows what's going to happen. Oh! Jesus Christ.
I think she's got a bruise.
Yeah. Oh. Pause that right there, Maddie. Now, is she dead or alive? Do you reckon she survived that?
I hope that she's alive, but I feel like she's got a headache.
For the people just listening, we had a lovely young lady sitting on a stool next to a horse, and the horse was sort of backing like
Was she like tickling him or something?
I don't know. I think she was trying to push the back of the horse away, because anybody that's been around horses
Yeah,
know
going
that you
in the
don't
back.
stand behind the back.
Yeah.
And she has got 2 hooves
You're
to
in
the head.
forehead. Or the eyes.
Oh, Maddie, good work. Good. Look at that. That's straight to her head.
I mean, I feel like she should survive it, but she is going to need some Buckfast. and some and Voltaren.
Well,
and some ice.
Well, you're right. She did survive. She had a freaking headache for about a year after that one. Maddie, what's our next one, mate? Oh. Oh, this one. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. On the river, in a tinny.
In Australia.
Some guys, of course, Australia Day.
We have the best
Australia Day. He's on the front of the boat there, waving out to everybody, and then, oh. Here we go. Straight off the front, under the boat. You reckon he copped a prop to the head?
Oh, I think there's every chance. I had to look closer and make sure it wasn't my son and his mates. I'm going to say he survived because it would be...
Just move that. Just move
sorry.
that. It's all right. You're
I'm gonna say
trying to make love to the microphone.
I'm going to say he survived. Because
Can you pause him right over the front when he goes over the front,
it
maybe?
would be un-Australian.
Can we pause that? Look, he's just waving everybody. Australia Day, here you go, mate. And then, boom, straight over the front, and then a prop to the head. He actually died, that guy.
Fuck, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I like the underneath, like enjoy the day, but don't do dumb shit like this vlog.
Yeah. Oh, well done. I didn't see that, actually.
I love it. Like, I'm obviously American, but I am Australian. I'm God, 20 years Australian
So
citizen.
once again, the post has got Australia Day legends. Enjoy the day and family and friends, but remember, don't do dumb shit like this vlog. Hashtag life.
Hashtag
Hashtag life.
LUID.
I love it. Yeah, live until I die.
Oops.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
No, he survived. He survived. He was drunk. He was drunk as fuck.
Are you talking
We have no idea. We have no idea.
The
what
Australian sense of humour, though,
Oh.
if he did die, like people would show that video and laugh. And
Yeah, they
they'd
would.
be like, oh,
This-
that flog died.
Well, he's just another flog, isn't he?
Yeah.
What do we got next, Maddie? Oh, you like this? It's American.
Oh, no.
Bit of baseball. Wait for it. Oh! Jesus. Oh.
Goodness.
So we're looking at a pitcher and a batter. The batter, and it's remember the aluminium bat, so you can hear the sound of the aluminium
Yeah.
bat. That ball's gone straight back at the pitcher's head and got him square between the eyes. Maddie, can we hear that audio? Because the umpires, like this guy's down. Just play it
He's out
forward a bit.
cold.
Yeah. Like he's twitching on the ground.
He's twitching. He's like convulsing.
Pause that there, Maddie. Pause that.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I can't believe the umpires just casually stroll up having a bit of a chat. Oh, is he all right? The guy's on the ground.
Like convulsing.
Yeah. No, he did definitely die, that guy.
He did.
No.
I can't. I'm like, I mean, it would have. We've had worse happen with cricket. We've had things happen.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know. I
And that
shouldn't
would be-
laugh
and that
about
would
that.
Be like that's a much bigger hit.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, definitely
Not
faster.
that I've ever
Well-
really gotten into cricket.
Yeah. Isn't the balls slightly? Well, they're just as hard. I mean, coming back at you at that space. Yeah.
If it hits you in the face, you're gonna know about it either way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all those guys survived. Or the two girls and the lass. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's dead or alive. What did you think?
Well, I'm glad that they're all alive. I don't want to be.
I don't even know if we're allowed to show death on the podcast. To be quite honest, are we allowed to do that, Maddie, or
Is it
not?
considered
Is that a grey area?
insensitive?
Yeah, we don't want to be insensitive.
No, not you.
No.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, and then especially if we're laughing at it, that's inappropriate.
Well, that's the thing about comedy. You can laugh at anything. Anything's funny.
Australian sense of humour. When I first moved here, my very first job, I turned up and they said, "Oh, we're so glad you're here." I was doing work experience. The girl who was doing the job before, she died last week,
Oh,
and I went. And then, like, they proceed to make jokes about it, and
they weren't joking that she actually
No,
died.
she
She
did
did
die.
die. Oh, wow.
but it was like, yeah, Aussies.
So there really was an opening.
I mean, yeah, fell into place. All the stars aligned. So we're 35 episodes into LUID.
We're 34, 35, Matt? 34. This will be the
34.
35th?
Almost,
No, this will be the 34th.
almost my age.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
You look good.
Where to from here?
Oh, up and away. Up and away. I was saying to Matt today, we talked about earlier on about me doing my apprenticeship. You know,
Yes.
we're 2 years in, slow and steady, organically, just trying to generate some pace and some momentum. We haven't done a lot of marketing. This is and once again, I thank you again for today because this is part of that marketing for LUID. About people want a backstory. They want to know they want to know Brendon Gray. They want to know the man behind LUID.
The man behind the mic.
the man behind
I
the
wrote
mic.
that down too. We'll tick that off the list.
Yeah. And like in my past, it's not the first time I've had a mic in front of my face. So, as I said, did the apprenticeship, 2 years in, 33 episodes, and let's just kick it in the arse and get it going. So, a lot more promotion. People will see a lot more content come through. We've got some awesome guests lined up for the next 3 or 4 episodes, which will be great. How do you find your guests? Well, that's the hardest thing. I mean, as I said previously about just because you can doesn't mean you should. The one thing about podcasting is guests. Now, nobody
topics.
Well, and it's about interest. People don't want to sit there and listen to me rambling on for an hour and a half. The concept of LUID is long format discussion where I can draw information, stories, and knowledge out of my guests, and that's the reason why they're sitting here. The hardest thing is to get them to commit to sit where I am. There's the fear of the unknown, maybe I don't want my story told, or what if I say this, what if that happens? You generally find that there's two types. There's people that are really excited to come on and they instantly book once they know that they've got the opportunity. So if anybody's listening out there, we want anybody, if you're a leader in your field, if you're an expert, if you've just got a great story, get in touch with us, luidstateofmind.com. We've got a Become Content page there, a link, just click on that, get in contact with us.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. As I said, facilitate, educate. Let's just make some good educational, some good fun content that people will consume and enjoy and hopefully take something away from it. And that would make their investment in listening to LUID and me worth it. So, let's just get on with it. Let's do it.
One of your really strong messages and your Christmas message, right? Was that this Christmas just gone?
I didn't do a Christmas.
So it must have been the
no.
Christmas before.
Yeah.
Was go to your fucking doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is a key fundamental in having to live or how to live a better life. It's funny because we just put a post on Insta, a short of that, and we got some comments, people going, why would you trust a doctor? Doctor's this, doctor's that. And it was actually quite frustrating about the ignorance of it. Doctors are there to service you as a human being and to listen, to diagnose, and just the basic fundamentals.
Blood work.
Blood work, exactly. Right. How's your blood pressure going? Have you got any other ailments? Is there anything else happening with you? I've always said, and the one thing that Ash noticed in me early was that I'm acutely aware of my own body. Like I can.
And most people are, but then I guess you would say like your hip, you had to push through it for a couple of years, but a lot of people just ignore.
Yeah, but
Like it's going to go away.
You look at a lot of problems with a lot of people that start out as a little niggle, like say a difference in your bowel movements.
Yep.
All right. You go, and this is what's funny to me. Like some people go, I haven't shit in 3 days.
That's not normal.
No, exactly. But they go, well, they ignore all these signs, and then it may rectify itself, or it may happen again, or it may happen on and off, and they just go, oh, well, that's life. That's how it is now. I don't accept that. No. I don't accept them in myself. I know if something's off whack. I know if something's just not happening right. But the one basic thing, and I've always said that, is go to the doctor, get your blood work done.
Yep. Just once a year.
Even once a year.
Yep.
Well, I get it done more regularly, but that's just me. That I want to know. I've always said that I want to know what's going on. I don't want something creeping up and bite me in the ass.
Yep.
So this year alone, I've been to the doctors, got my blood work done, checked all my other vitals and bits and pieces. I've been to the dentist. I've been to the mole guys. So I've had a mole check. This is 52 years, so I'm in line for another echocardiogram.
Yep.
And maybe I've done another poo test.
You got your poo in the refrigerator.
So I've done all these, ticking all these boxes. Now, for anybody over 50 or anybody over 40, there's some certain things that you need to do on a regular basis, which is just basic maintenance. It's like your car. You don't drive your car 20,000 Ks without changing the oil or topping up the wind washer fluid. Yeah. You've got to do the basics. So a lot of people, I just can't. I'm going to say the ignorance of it is that they're ignorant to the fact that they should be doing these regular checks and maintaining their health.
And if a doctor doesn't give you the answer that you want, don't don't accept it. Find another doctor. I mean, we've had that conversation with my in-laws, Oh, we would go to Dr. Singh because we go to Dr. Singh, we go to Dr. Singh. If you're not figuring out what's wrong, go find another doctor. Luckily, Dr. Singh's retired. They're getting a new doctor. But, if you know you're not right, pursue it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you get...
Well, me now, I'll go into my doctor and go, this is what I want, which is probably not what they want to hear.
So you have a regular GP that you go to?
I've been with him for 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And it's ironic because he's overweight, and he...
And he smokes.
No, he doesn't smoke. It would be horrible walking into a doctor. He'd had a ciggy before he'd seen you. It's like, oh, that would be terrible. Yeah, it's just I tell him what I want.
Yeah.
And I don't expect everybody to do that. But the thing is that you should listen to your body. You should, if something's irregular or it doesn't feel right, something's off, go see your doctor. Ask the questions. Or if you want to go, even just a Google search. I mean, like the first thing...
Dr. Google.
There's nothing wrong with Dr. Google.
An ingrown toenail could result in an amputation if you do Dr. Google, but it's it's a good starting point.
Well, it's like it's alleviating fear as well too, because the reason why a lot of people don't go see doctors is the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
They don't want bad news. It's like people don't go to the dentist.
Yeah.
But if you go to a dentist,
protective layer.
If you go to the dentist on a regular basis, it makes those visits actually less stressful, and like even just cleaning your teeth.
Yep.
Like they get it's horrible. They clean your teeth and they get the tartar
it's so
off.
good afterwards.
Oh, exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But if you leave it a year instead of 6 months, it's longer in the chair than what it is in 6 months. If you get it done every 6 months, it just makes it so much easier. So it's the same. It's the same with an illness. An illness has to start with something somewhere, sometime.
Yep.
And if you delay, it's just going to get worse. You know? And if you ignore the symptoms or the effects of it, it just doesn't make sense in my mind why you would do that. Why would you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know a lot of people, and once again, I know a lot of people are in situations where they may not have the ability to go to a doctor. They're worried about the cost. I mean, bulk billing's a shit fight. They may not be able to do the gap in the look. So my doctor, when I go to him, I get the Medicare rebate. It's like $42. It's a $65 or a $70 consult. So I'm $35 out of pocket. Now I understand
It's
some
a pretty
families.
good investment, though.
Well, it's an investment in your future. Well, I understand how people get this, for whatever reason, they can't afford that or they're not in a position to do that. And it was really funny. I mean, I hark back to a good friend of ours that had cancer, and he was on an experimental drug, which was really fucking expensive. And I said to him, so what do poor people do? And he goes, they just fucking die. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Which is, but poor people, or sorry, not poor people. Let me rephrase that. People that are unable to go
Financially disadvantaged.
They shouldn't. There should be no reason why anybody living in Australia can't go to a doctor and be seen by a GP. There shouldn't be any reason for that. It just blows my fucking mind.
And you can't say you don't have time. I mean, our local down the road here is almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
Almost 24 hours.
Yeah,
sometimes the only appointment you can get is 11:30 at night.
Well, it's better than
bedtime.
it's better than no appointment.
That's it.
And as I said, so the one thing with LUID is that message exactly. Go to your fucking doctors.
Yep.
Go to your fucking doctors. It's simple. It's really fucking simple.
It is. I've got a bit of you played a game with me.
All right. You're gonna play a
Dead
game
or Alive. Yeah, well, it's a bit of an icebreaker. I feel like we should get to know each other after 20-something years.
All right, bring it on.
All right. The game is 2 truths and a lie.
Right.
So you need to tell me 2 truths and a lie in no particular order.
Yep.
And I've got to try to figure out which one's the lie.
This will be easy because I'm fucking retarded.
Are you not a good liar?
Well,
I don't know that you are.
I try not to lie.
No, as a general life rule.
All right.
Like,
okay, here we go.
Go to the doctor and don't lie.
This will be good. This will
don't
be good.
lie.
This
All
will be
right,
good.
so 2 truths and a lie.
2 truths
Yeah.
and a lie. I've got a 10-inch penis.
Okay. Do we need to keep going?
What's Matt laughing at?
Nothing.
Next one.
Yep.
I hold a national motorcycle drag racing championship for a category in a 400cc motorbike. Third one. I took a shit on the side of Mount Fuji.
Okay, well, now I know which one is the lie. But I mean, that's a bit personal, but yeah, I think everyone knows which one is the lie, Brenda.
Is it that obvious?
Yeah. Are you blushing? I'm not blushing. Matt, you blushing?
Matt goes like this. Thanks, mate. That's awesome.
Give it a little finger symbol with like 2 fingers.
10 inches is fucking huge. How much is 10 inches? Is it like that?
It's a ruler.
Oh, Matt knows. Did you just measure yours? That's a lot. That's a lot to take in, isn't it? Front door, back door. Jesus Christ. Did I pass the test?
Yeah.
That was a good segment.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I made it pretty easy for you, though.
Yeah,
didn't
you
I?
made it easy.
I could have said 8 inches. Would that been believable? No. Not even 8?
I can't even comment. I can't even look you in the eyes. Like, we could cry together, but I don't want to talk about that. Maybe it'll make me laugh until I cry. So what's your next era?
Oh, what have we got coming up?
T-Swizzle?
So ideally, because I got Holy Shirt.
Yes.
Holy Shirt's on the market, by the way.
So I think you told me, it might have been more than 2 years ago, because this is a man with a plan, always, that was this, got to get LUID up and going, got to put Holy Shirt on the market. It's going to take X amount of time to sell, and everything is
Yeah, so what I've done
running to your timelines.
Yeah, so what I've done previously with businesses is that I've had existing established businesses, and then I've started new businesses and let them grow organically. Too much beer.
Drink some more
Yeah,
Benedictine.
it's the beer. It's the beer that's doing. So I've let them grow organically, and then one's taken over the other, or one's been replaced, or one's been sold. So that was the idea with LUID. LUID was a funny story, because the premise that we're in right now.
I think you bought this in about probably 2014 or something. It was ages.
It was 2018. We bought it off the plan.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be built the next year.
Yep.
2019. It went through a couple of developers, got sold, resold, and didn't get completed until 2021.
Yep.
And we were just it was an investment property. We were just going to get a tenant in here, and we were doing a mezzanine floor, like an upstairs mezzanine floor for space. That turned to shit. We lost our tenant that was going to go in. And I said to Ash at the time, my lovely wife, I said, "Look, do you trust me?" And she goes, "Well, of course I don't." No, she did. She said, I trust you. She knows. I've got history. I said, "This is what I want to do." And I sold the studios to her as a space that we could rent out. So it's a rentable space.
Yep.
Podcast studio, conference room. We've got the photographic area down the bottom. And I sold it to her as that. I said, that's how we're going to get our return on the investment. And of course, when it was finished and done, I think it was a year later or 6 months later, and we had the opening, which was my 50th birthday.
Yeah.
Still the intention. But I quickly changed my mind.
Because we're a one-man show.
Because
Not a team play.
Because I don't like people touching my shit. I don't like people touching my shit. I like my shit good.
OCD.
It's not OCD.
I've seen the bookshelves on your wall at home, mate.
No.
Only someone with OCD can.
Oh, those are new. We've got new ones now. Anyway, talk about that later. I don't like people touching my shit. All right. So I like my stuff nice. All right. We've had a couple of events here, which have been great, and then I look at the damage after, and I go, why? Why can't my shit be nice? Why do people have to wreck my shit? So we haven't rented it out, and it's been kept all to myself, which once again is that selfishness, but for the greater cause. Of course.
Somebody else might raid your beer fridge.
Exactly. Although it does have a lock on it. It does. So the intention is...
so Holy Shirt is on the market.
Holy Shirt's on the market. Once that... So,
great shirts.
Oh, it's an awesome business.
Need to have a chat to you about some girls' trip shirts after.
The great thing about Holy Shirt, once again, is it's been created around not having to deal with people. So that comes back to me not liking...
Well, I think we know the name for this segment.
One-man show. Yes, that's it. The one-man show.
The one-man show.
Yeah. And it's not so much about control. It's about controlling the environment. So controlling the environment, my happiness and my mental health, which is... Holy Shirt's perfect because it's an online business.
Yep.
We have no showroom. People don't come in. The orders come in through the online store. We process them and they go out.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom. So brilliant.
And your only employee, Yoshi.
Yoshi, my...
Your star employee, head of HR at Holy Shirt. She can come to work with you and to LUID as well.
Well, she does. She sits under my desk all day. She loves it. She's they call them land seals. She's just they call them land seals.
I've seen her on the boat too, though.
She loves that.
Yeah,
she loves that.
She's a sea seal as well.
So once that sells, I'll be full time here in the studio, and who knows? Who knows? I mean, it was I sold it once again as my retirement project. So. When I'm 52, I reckon I've got another 3 years before I have to stop working for money, which I'd be really happy to do. And then travel, just anything. But it's ironic that I work by myself all day, don't say a fucking word to anybody, yet I can sit in here and all I want to do is elicit conversation.
Yeah.
So it's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron. It's weird. It's a
But it's a social battery level versus a...
Yeah, well,
it's
so
different.
With regards to anybody's social inaptness or their ability, a lot of people struggle with certain situations and places. Once again, if we go back to that one-man show and that controlling the environment, I've learned in my wisdom that I can control an environment to make it comfortable for me. And if it's not comfortable, I will exit stage fucking left as quick as possible. I've been in situations, and Ash will contest to this.
Yep, agree.
Agree to
endorse, whatever,
If I don't like a situation, I'm out. And it's not we can go to concerts and stuff like that, and we can be in places with a lot of people, but there's also a point where it's just too many people.
Yep.
And I don't get, like a lot of people have anxiety.
Yes.
It doesn't get, and that's a real thing. It doesn't get overwhelming for me because I've got the mental ability to control those feelings.
Yeah. And sometimes you go to a social function, and particularly for me, I'm loud, I'm talkative, sociable, whatever. And if I'm a bit quiet, people think I'm off. And sometimes you think, no, it's actually I'm just chill, or I'm not in that space to want to, to be that social in that social space.
But for you, that's not hard work for you, is it? Like when you walk into a room, like if you're in a good mood, you are gonna. I'm not saying you're gonna be the center of attention, but you are gonna be easy to get on with. You're gonna converse. You're gonna make conversation. You're gonna
probably offend someone.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
It's not hard to offend anybody these days, is it?
Not being myself if I don't.
Yeah.
I've got a friend, who also has mental health and anxiety issues and whatnot, and I don't invite her to social functions like where I know there's a lot of people, where I know that it will be overwhelming, that I know that she's not going to want to. Don't even put her in this situation because she knows that she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
To engage like that. I guess that's what happens as we get older.
The one thing with me is that it's gotten worse for me over the journey.
Yep.
But because I started here and I was always outgoing, I've always been outgoing, and
Gift
my
of the
friends
gab.
just say, yeah, I can talk the fucking legs off a chair. I've actually gone in the timeline. I've gone backwards
Yep.
as far as that's concerned, and gone within myself. But I've been socially conscious about me doing that, because nobody wants to have me being the awkward person in the room. My wife doesn't want to be standing next to me and being awkward around her crew. So it's about, once again, it's about just dealing with the situation, knowing what needs to be done, and
Where
just
you're
doing
at.
your best job to just be socially active. You don't have to be the fucking star of the show. You don't have to hold court, but it's about being socially acceptable and not awkward. You know,
I think after COVID, we were all so keen to just get out. Obviously, it was a bit of a trying time. We were so keen to get out that then maybe for the last year or two, we've gone hell for leather. And I think now it's like, I don't know whether it's social exhaustion or old age.
that's probably a bit of both.
Maybe both. But yeah, I think
Oh, for 37, you shouldn't have that.
I'm 35.
Oh, right. Sorry,
Give
shit.
or take.
Fuck. That's the one thing they said you shouldn't
Give
do
or
with a
take.
female.
Give or take. Okay. But yeah, no, I think yeah, yeah, you definitely have Saturday nights. I just want to stay home and watch a movie.
Oh, don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not go out, not do too much, hey?
You know the frustrating thing about that? You'll sit down with your partner
my
and you go,
God.
what's on Netflix? And you go, beep, beep.
Oh my God, it takes you 2
beep.
hours to find something.
Yeah. Have you seen that? Oh, you've seen that, right? Beep, beep, beep. What was it? Go back. Beep, beep.
Or I don't want to watch a series, I want to watch a movie. Do they even make movies anymore? Everything's a series. I actually keep a list on my phone now in my notes, like things to watch. If I see things, come through my Facebook feed or whatever, like things to watch, or somebody recommends something, things to watch.
I have realised that my wife and I don't have the same interests, and that's
no.
fine. That's
No,
fine.
definitely not. I don't want to watch action, shooting, killing. I'm a rom-com. Can't watch a sappy movie, I'll cry.
I'm true crime all the way.
Oh, I love true
Yeah.
crime.
Ash reckons she knows what I'm going to do when I murder her. Take her out in the bay with a couple of cinder blocks.
Well, I work in waste.
Huh? I didn't realise it was a knot. I was going for the cleaner. I was going
Just
for the
like
cleaner.
double wrap it and label it as asbestos.
So if I
Nobody's gonna
I
unwrap
turned up with a roll of carpet with a couple of ties around it, you'd be right.
I'd say, where do you need to hide the body, Brenda? Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Ash, did you hear that? I thought you liked Ash.
I do love Ash. I love Ash. Let's talk about Ash for a second. I know you don't want to talk about Ash. You said that, but
No, I'm happily married for the third time.
I wasn't gonna say that.
No,
She's
that's
lucky number 3.
No, it's funny because at the wedding, my best man said, "Welcome back to our guests." Welcome back.
He did. I was there.
Yes, of course you were. Of course you were.
We won't
The
go-
mother-in-law did not like that.
We
She
won't-
was not impressed.
We won't go back too far
No.
because I might have been at the wedding to Mav's mother as well.
Yeah.
But I have
Well,
to
hey,
say,
who loves a good party? Who doesn't love
and
a
when
good
you're
party?
paying, I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I
in.
didn't pay for the last one, but anyway.
Didn't you?
No. Thank you, Juliet Brownfield. Thanks, Juliet. We do appreciate your contribution.
But I think Ash has been a very good influence on you too. A very
Have you seen that?
leveling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she would take any shit from you.
I'd say that she's just as lucky to have me than there's the other way around. And of course, you're not going to agree to that because you're female. What do you reckon, Matt? Yeah, Matt agrees. Yeah, he says, yeah, shit, yeah.
I just
It's all swings and roundabouts, man.
I just think she's just calm and happy and
She is the yin to my yang. Remember
absolutely.
You remember the speech that I made at the wedding about her talking me off the ledge? Do you remember that? And about the elephant in the room? You don't remember that? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I was
No.
probably drunk.
We all were. We all were.
But and I think she is amazing with Mav.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she knew what she was signing up for, which is everything was taken into consideration. That was all talked about when we met.
Yeah. I remember you telling me when you met her. When you sat on my sofa.
Yes. Yep.
Met this girl. She's kind of nice.
You know what I fucking did? You know what I did? Because people are going to listen to this and go, "You're a wanker," because I made her hike up the 1,000 steps on her first date, and people will go, "What a dick! Why would you do that?"
If you took me on a first date there, I'd probably still be there. Feel like halfway up at the
Exactly,
stairwell.
exactly.
And you know, when you go, I'm just letting people pass, but
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. Like you see on social media about all these things that you shouldn't do on a first date.
on a first date.
I did that, and the reason why I did that was because I wanted her to be active. I wanted to be outdoors, and I didn't want to see her with a face full of makeup, all dolled up.
Yeah.
I wanted to see her, she wasn't exactly wearing workout gear, but she had pants and a top, and it was like. So we did the 1,000 steps. We went off to the cuckoo place and and had some champagne and bada bing, bada boom.
There you
know?
go. The rest is history.
It is.
I think Maddie and I's, well, not our first date, but I remember one of our first things, we went out to dinner and I ordered like a marinara spaghetti. So it had, shells.
Did
and
you have a white top?
spaghetti.
You didn't wear a white top.
And he ordered the penne pasta that he could just gently stab and eat in an orderly fashion. So that I tell my kids, like, that's a life lesson.
Yeah.
What food do you order on a first date?
Well,
Don't order ribs.
Not the corn.
No, not corn, not ribs,
Nothing with fucking spinach either.
No, because or garlic, unless you both have it.
Oh, garlic's just terrible.
Do you not like garlic?
Well, no, I love garlic, but the thing is that it keeps coming back and reminds you that you've had garlic. So if you go out for dinner and then you're going out to a club or something, you're drinking, and then you'll burp, and it's like, hello, the garlic's come back. It's like, fucking who did that? Jesus, and you'll surprise yourself. So what? And you can't blame that on anybody. You can't go, who did that?
Yeah. So in theory, your next era it might kind of coincide with Mav finishes school. You're semi-retired.
Yes.
Where do you want to travel?
Well, it's where we want to live is the main question. Where we want to live. So the idea is that we'll be able to go somewhere for 3 to 6 months a year, and we could do 1 or 2 places throughout the year, and depending on tax liabilities, etc., etc.
So you're probably the opposite to me. You love the snow, so I would prefer to leave winter and always go to warm weather.
Well, yes, I do love the snow because it affords me the opportunity to snowboard, but I can do that for 7 to 10 days a year.
And that's enough.
And that's done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I will not chase the snow. Like say, for instance, this year we didn't go to Japan, but we may go back to Queenstown, do another heliboard in August or September, which will be a 3 or 4 day trip.
Yeah.
But I love tropical islands. I love
A pool bar.
who doesn't? Do you pee at the pool bar?
No, but because I've been organising these little bits for a girls' trip that's coming up, you can get a hat that says I pee in the pool. But so now I'm going to get you one.
Oh no, you do, yeah.
I mean, you could make your own, but I'll have to get you one off of Temu, especially But yeah.
If you swim up to me at a pool bar and the water's a little bit warmer, you know why.
You're not meant to do that. Don't you know about the purple dye?
Well, see, the thing is,
It's a lie.
It is a lie. I believe that when we were kids in our next door neighbour's pool, they had a sign: "Don't pee in our pool."
It'd be like a
if you
red
don't swim
dye
in your
will follow you
toilet."
around, a purple, yeah.
But see, my problem is I get out of the pool and my 10-inch cock, just like my pants just suck to
And people stare.
Well, you saw the pole vaulter in the Olympics, didn't you? The French guy. That's my problem. So I've just got to stay at the bar.
Yeah, just stay in the water for everyone's well-being.
Well, it's a public safety thing.
So where do you want to live? So where are you thinking you want to share your time?
Indonesia. So we've got
Right.
options in Bali, Philippines. We can do NZ.
Yeah.
So within that 8 or 9 hour travel time from Australia,
Yep.
we don't want to do, like Portugal and stuff would be great, but you are on the other side of the world.
It's a long trip.
It's a long way to go. There's some great places like Portugal. I think they've got some incentives and reciprocal healthcare. So that's the other thing as you get older, which is important, is healthcare. I mean, if you go somewhere, you're there for a period, do you have access to good healthcare? Now, obviously, you've got insurance, but sometimes insurance means shit.
Yeah, travel insurance isn't going to cover if you just need to go to your GP because you're Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is when you need healthcare, it's generally pretty serious and you want good healthcare. You know,
Yeah.
I get that you can be medevaced out of somewhere, but you know, you've got to look at with anything services. That's why you pick a house, because it's got a train station or it's got shops or it's got
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with your healthcare and stuff. So yeah, so we've got, it's like pick a point. Let's go. And that's, as you say, Mav's got another 2 years at school. And then hopefully he'll be off. I hope he does some good travel. I hope he takes off and.
Do you really think they'll be able to move out and buy a house? God.
Well, that's a completely different podcast. That's
Yeah,
a
that
completely
is.
separate. It's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary. I mean, we talk about going back to that being selfish. So me being selfish and doing and working hard is not just self-satisfaction. It's about setting myself up. Not just me, but Mav.
Yep.
You know, I want to make sure that when I'm gone, he's going to have enough for him. I mean, he's going to find his own way. He's going to earn his own money.
Yeah.
And he's going to learn not to rely on, you know, me and Ash when we
Yeah.
die. But you definitely want your legacy to help. And even then, it goes further than him. It goes to his kids. You know, so it goes to your grandkids, and it's like, well, you know, that's what you want to see. That hopefully that when you're done, when you're finished here, you can be content knowing that you've worked hard, and that it's going to keep on giving.
I think it wasn't so much the way with our parents. Like our parents, because we were able to afford to buy our own house, like our first houses, right? You had to have your 10% deposit, but you know, now you're going to have a 10% deposit on your first home, $1 million in some places.
Oh, exactly,
you know,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we have to do that now for our kids, don't we?
Well, it's our job. I mean, it would be selfish not to think about your kids in the future, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm not. I've got to take another piss. This podcast is brought to you in part by Buckfast. What is Buckfast, you ask? Well, let me tell you. It's better known as Bucky, and it's an internationally enjoyed, unique tasting tonic wine. It's equally rich in heritage as it is in taste. It packs a punch from 15% alcohol and about the same amount of caffeine as a well-known drink that gives you wings. Buckfast's enjoyment is only rivaled by its versatility from the cooking pot to the wine or cocktail glass. Drink it straight, mix it in a Negroni, or use it as a marinade. Available Australia-wide and distributed by Beeblebrox Beverages. Visit beeblebrox.com.au to find your closest stockist and buckfast.com for cocktail and recipe ideas.
Well, I hope this isn't coming to the end because I'm kind of getting comfortable here now.
You look really comfortable.
Yeah,
Have you got a drink? You got enough to drink?
Aside from my chins,
You
but
got enough to drink?
I think
You're right.
Matt will edit out my chins.
We've got Ruster Duck here looking after you.
He's my mate. If only Yoshi was here. All right, so I've got two or three last things.
Right.
We're both left-handed,
We are.
absolute geniuses,
Fucking brilliant.
and that also means that we often have unusual talents.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What's
So-
yours?
So I can write upside down and backwards. Like
Show me. Show me.
all right,
Come on.
I'll give you a fresh piece of paper. Backwards.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you want me to camera it?
Yeah, where's the camera?
Piece of cake. Read that in the mirror.
Brendo.
I used to did I just pull
You're
that?
right. No, you're fine.
When I was in like writing love letters in school, I'd write them backwards so that my boyfriend would have to go read them in the mirror. But it also meant people couldn't look over your shoulder.
That's gorgeous.
Right. So what is your stupid human trick?
Well, you know I've got a 10-inch dick.
Of course, I've learned that. Anyways, I mean, after 23 years, I thought I knew everything.
Matt's still going like this. I can tie it in a knot.
Right. Okay, now let's be real.
I reckon if I did have, the last thing I want to be doing is tying in a knot.
Imagine
No,
how
I can
comfortable speedos, like your budgie smugglers would be.
I've got that image of that French pole vaulter. That poor bastard. His dick lost
It's
him
actually impractical.
that dick lost him that medal, I think. He just
Feel better. You should feel better about yourself not having a 10-inch
Yes.
cock. It's impractical.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're a practical person.
Um
Stupid human trick.
I can do a possum.
What's a possum?
Do you know what a possum is?
No.
So what you do is you hang yourself upside down, generally in a shed where you'd be drinking with your mates, and scull a beer without it coming out your nose. Is that what you thought a possum was, Maddie?
All right.
No idea.
Tune in next week. Tune in next week when we go to the playground. Hang off the monkey bars upside down.
FYI, I'm not going to do that for the socials. You're not going to see that. You're not. Maybe we would. Maybe we could. I'm trying not to get desperate here, but if things do
anything
get
for
desperate,
publicity. Anything for publicity. All right.
What's the other question? What else you got for me?
So one of my favorite quotes is, "Be content with what you have, but never with what you are."
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I think that would resonate with you too.
Oh, for sure.
So tell me some of your favorite quotes. Give me 5.
Look, I do love a good quote. I'm not going to be the quote guy. I said to myself when I started this, I was never going to quote. I'm never going to make
You're never
it.
Go like that
never
with your
gonna
fingers.
Top 5. Look, I've got "Fortune Favours the Brave" tattooed on my arm. It's actually in Spanish, so it says "Fortuna el feliz." Fortuna. Oh, fuck, I can't even read it.
Spanish is not your stupid human
I
talent.
don't even know why I did it in fucking Spanish. I think I did it in Spanish because it was something other than English, and English was obvious. So it was like, well, what's on your arm?
But you love Japan. Why not Japanese?
Well, I don't know.
I think you should get it redone.
I should have just lays it off. Fortune favours the brave. Look, I've always been somebody to go, fuck it, let's just do it.
Take a risk.
Exactly, and it's not so much about taking a risk. It's just taking that first step. With anything, it's like, right, you can stay where you are and be comfortable, or you can step over the line and be uncomfortable and find out what's on offer, which I think is much more exciting way to live your life.
And back yourself.
Yes. One thing that is the one thing I was thinking about it today when we were doing notes for this podcast, is that it's funny because I've never ever doubted myself in my life. Never. Doubt's only starting to creep in now for whatever reason. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why, but I'm trying to fight it off more so than ever. But it has never been a problem. That mentality of just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
I've got here, "Nothing good happens after midnight," and that harks back to my 2 sessions in jail.
Was it both after
It was
midnight?
2. It was 2.
Is that the only two times you've been out after midnight?
No, not at all. But I did it one year on Christmas Eve, and then I did it the next year on Christmas Eve. That's how fucking stupid I am. I learned, and I didn't do it the 3rd year, so there's only 2 mugshots of me.
Maybe don't go out on Christmas Eve.
Don't get drunk. Don't drink. Don't live. Who knows? I was young. I was stupid. I made mistakes. But my advice to Mav is that this day and age, round St Kilda way, round wherever, you don't need to be out after midnight because shit just goes south. It's not a good place to be, and you should be at home, tucked up in fucking bed.
Come back to Christmas Eve for a sec. When my son was 8, he was out. It was past 9 o'clock, not midnight, which is quite late
For an 8-year-old.
for an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
He was, playing with the street urchins in our neighbourhood, and he wouldn't come in. So I cancelled Christmas on him.
Wow.
That's almost worse than jail.
Did he still believe in Santa back then or not?
Yeah,
At 8?
I think so.
Where
But
did
he
you-
got nothing.
Where did you stop believing?
Is he not real? But yeah, he got nothing. Nothing in his stocking, nothing under the tree. Absolutely
Wow.
nothing. People say, everyone threatens that. Nobody really does that. I did it.
Fuck yeah.
He probably is going to need therapy.
Is he still fucked up? I was going to say, every Christmas,
Sorry, buddy.
every Christmas he's fucking jittery like a stray cat.
All right, another quote.
I use cause and effect a lot, and people that have listened to the podcast will hear that. Cause and effect. It's simple. For every action, there's a reaction. And a lot of times people don't understand why things happen because they can't reflect back on what made it happen or what led up. Like with plane crashes. Plane crashes are a series of small incidents that end up in catastrophe in most instances. So yeah, that's a simple, effective. And what are we up to? Number 4 is do your fucking job. Big bugbear of mine, real big bugbear. Just do your job, do it right, do it once, move on. Simple as that. I mean, if you're dealing, everybody deals with businesses and corporations, and there's so much blame laying on other people or other situations.
Email trails to cover your ass.
It's the other thing. A lot of people, don't get me wrong, but the one thing I noticed in Australia when I got here was that it's very easy for people to lay blame.
Yeah, it's a culture. It's a blame culture for sure.
They don't own up.
Yep.
Very rarely do they own up to a mistake. If you make a mistake in life, the best thing you could possibly do is understand what happened and then just own it and learn from it and then move on.
Well, guess what? That's something else on my list to tick off because there was someone about
But we ticked it all off.
who said sincere, like it was on the same line with self-aware, sincerely apologetic. Like if you do, like, was the comment someone made about you, my friend?
Somebody made that about me.
That
Apologetic.
that self-aware and that you know if you've upset the apple cart, if you and you reflect on it and you'll apologize, and you're sincere about it. You're not.
It's about a conscious awareness that you don't want. Once again, I don't want people thinking something about something I've done, and me not realising what I've done and the effect that it's happened or have caused. Once again, cause and effect.
Yeah.
It goes
Or
back,
just do your job,
goes
and
back
then
to that.
it comes down to ownership.
Yeah, so it all exactly. So yeah, I'll own that for sure. It's funny because I was thinking about something that I thought my father had told me when I was younger. And he said to me, if you want something in life, go out and get it. Now, in reflection, I don't know whether he actually said that to me. I can't remember a point in time where...
conversation.
I can't remember the point in time where he would have sat down and said that to me. I know it's something that he would have said, but I don't know whether it was said. And it still sticks with me to this day. So whether he did or didn't, I still relate that to my father, and I thank him for that, knowing that he's taught me that nothing's going to be handed to you in life. If you want it, go out and get it.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dad. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that.
When's Dad coming over, by the way?
Hopefully soon. He's just making a few adjustments back at home.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's going to get a dog soon, which will be awesome. So
Who's going to come visit first?
yeah, exactly. Number 5.
Quote.
I love this one. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Don't touch my stuff. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Well, number 1 is don't be a dick, and then don't touch my stuff. Exactly. I mean, that's universal, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
There's a lot out there, though, unfortunately. But most fortunately, you're not one of them.
Thank you very much. You've praised me today, and whoever you contacted. I doubt there was any comments from my wife in that. Did you contact my wife? No. Well, so to those people that you did converse with, thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to know, because that's the thing, is a lot of people, they don't get a lot of validation about their existence or how they come off with other people. I know I've got a picture in my mind how people perceive me, and as you say, the evolution of Brendo is trying to make that perception better, refined, just generally better.
You are who you are.
Well, once again, I make no excuses or apologies for who I am, but it's good to know that people can see a few qualities in me that maybe I didn't see. You know.
Well, I wouldn't be here today. I don't think Matt would be here. I don't think Ash, or you're surrounded by a lot of people who love you.
Yes.
And who admire what you've done, and to see LUID come to fruition, and to see where it's going, it's inspirational.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Bang on, high
You've
five.
done such a great. You've done such a great job. I hope my job's not at risk, Matt. Hey, hope you're not going to replace me.
One man show.
No, as I said, once again, when I made the call to you about coming on, I knew that I just wanted you here because I know the type of person you are. I know how you radiate, and how a conversation between the both of us was, regardless of the topic, was never going to be a problem. You've made it all about me today and about LUID, which is, I think, selfishly what we wanted to do. But you offered that service, which is fantastic. And once again, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate time. I hope you sing our praises.
Absolutely.
And you help get some guests on, because that's what it's all about. It's about community. It's about community. No regrets.
Regrets.
No regrets. And about living the dream. So thank you.
Thanks, mate. Here's to many more years.
And you've got to say when you wrap up, that's a wrap, Matt.
That's a wrap.
Matt.
Mav.
That's
Both.
a wrap, Matt.
Bye.
Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Rach.
Thanks, Brendon.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in and for your time. You know the vibe, I'm steady living until I die. It's a LUID state of mind, and we showed you that. Keep it authentic and real, I hope you coming back. Hey, make sure that you subscribe, cause we got it popping all the time, and it's going down. If you wanna elevate, wanna live a better life, keep it locked here. You know it's a LUID state of mind, let's go.